All right, so welcome to the deep dive. We go deep into some really interesting stuff, and today, we're going to Japan.
Yep, to Japan, specifically Osaka.
Osaka. We're going to do a deep dive for anyone who wants to visit Osaka.
Yeah, like a first-timer's guide to Osaka.
Exactly, a first-timer's guide. So if you are thinking about going, this is the episode for you.
We'll hit all the high points, the must-sees, the must-dos. And of course, with Osaka, we got to talk about the must-eats.
Definitely. I mean, Osaka is known as Japan's kitchen, right?
Absolutely. And it's not just a catchy nickname. It has a really rich history that goes back to the Edo period, when Osaka was like this huge trading hub.
So like a central location, drawing in all sorts of stuff from all over.
Yeah, and that means ingredients, right? All kinds of unique and diverse ingredients that made their way to Osaka.
So that kind of sets the stage for why food is such a big deal there.
Exactly. The variety and the quality of ingredients just exploded. And that really fueled this culture of culinary experimentation and innovation.
So it's not just about having a lot of food, it's like a whole mindset.
Yeah, think kudar. Have you heard that phrase?
Exactly.
It basically means eat until you drop. And that really captures the spirit of Osaka.
Wow, eat until you drop. That's a serious commitment to food. So you're saying this trading hub history kind of explains how the food scene in Osaka got so big and unique.
Yep, it all goes back to that. It's like the DNA of their food culture. And another cool thing, Osaka Bay used to be called Naniwa, which translates to fish garden.
Fish garden, that's beautiful imagery.
Right. It tells you there was an abundance of seafood. And surrounding Osaka, there were, and still are, all these farms growing fantastic produce.
So this whole Japan's kitchen thing goes way deeper than I realized.
Absolutely. It's centuries in the making. So with that in mind, we've put together an 11-day itinerary for your first trip to Osaka.
11 days. That's a good chunk of time.
It is, and we want you to really experience the best of the city, not just rush through it. So consider this itinerary like a roadmap. Feel free to adapt it to your interests.
A roadmap to deliciousness. I like it. Okay, so day one, arrival in Osaka. Where do we start?
Well, after you settle in, you got to head straight to Dotonbori.
Dotonbori. Now, I've seen pictures. It's like Times Square in New York, right?
It's exactly like that, but with a Japanese twist.
Mm-hmm.
Bright lights, huge screens, tons of people, and of course food everywhere.
Sounds overwhelming in the best way possible. What's the first must-eat item on the list?
Takoyaki. Have you ever tried takoyaki?
I have, but I'm always up for more.
Well, in Osaka, you're in takoyaki heaven. These little octopus balls are an Osaka original, and you'll find amazing street vendors all over Dotonbori making them fresh.
Okay, that's day one, Dotonbori and takoyaki. Got it. What about day two? A little less intense, maybe?
Day two, we're taking you to Osaka Castle.
A bit of history.
Yeah, it's a stunning castle, gives you a real sense of Osaka's past. The surrounding park is also beautiful, perfect for a relaxing stroll.
After a long flight and a day of sensory overload in Dotonbori, a park sounds pretty good. And what about food on day two?
Well, in the evening, head to Shinsekai.
Shinsekai. What's special about that area?
It's known for its retro vibe. Think like old-school Japan. And the food specialty there is kushikatsu.
Kushikatsu. I'm not familiar with that. What is it?
It's basically deep-fried skewers. You can get all kinds of stuff, meat, seafood, vegetables, even cheese. Each place usually has its own special dipping sauce, too.
Sounds delicious. Deep fried. How can you go wrong?
You really can't. And, hey, here's a tip for you. Look into getting an Osaka Amazing Pass.
Osaka Amazing Pass. What's that?
It's a pass that gives you discounts and free entry to a ton of attractions, including Osaka Castle. It also covers a lot of your transportation costs.
So you can save some money and see more stuff.
Exactly. Always a good thing, right?
Absolutely. All right, day three. Where are we off to now?
Day three, get ready for a full-on foodie experience. We're going to Kuraman Market.
Kuraman Market. What kind of market is that?
It's like a massive covered market with hundreds of stalls selling all sorts of amazing food. Super fresh seafood, local produce, you name it.
So it's like a street food paradise, but in a market setting.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's a feast for the senses. You can wander around, try all sorts of small bites, and really get a feel for Osaka's culinary heart.
And I bet there's something specific we should try there, right?
You can't go wrong with the seafood. It's incredibly fresh, and there's so much variety. Oh, and you have to try something with dashi.
Dashi. Remind me what dashi is again.
It's a Japanese soup stock.
Mm-hmm.
It's the base for so many dishes, and Osaka is known for its particularly delicious dashi.
So it's kind of like the foundation of a lot of Japanese flavors.
Yeah, and in Osaka, they really take it to another level. There's a story about this guy named Konbuya Ihei who was instrumental in bringing high-quality kelp from Hokkaido to Osaka. and that kelp really elevated their dashi game.
Wow, the history of food is fascinating. Okay, so Kuruman Market, seafood, dashi. What's next on day three's agenda?
After Kurumon Market, how about we go to Daga Suji Kitchenware Street?
Dagahoshi Kitchenware Street. That sounds interesting. What is it exactly?
It's basically a whole street dedicated to kitchenware. You can find everything there, from professional chef knives to those super realistic plastic food models.
Oh, yeah, those plastic food models are incredible. They look so
I
real.
know, right? It's like a museum of deliciousness.
Yeah.
And it kind of ties into the whole Japan's kitchen thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like you're surrounded by the tools and ingredients that make Osaka's food scene so special.
Exactly. Okay, so that's day 3, a culinary deep dive.
This is like a delicious day. Now, day four, we step outside of Osaka for a bit, right?
Yep, we're suggesting a day trip to Nara. It's about an hour away by train. It's optional, of course.
What's in Nara that's worth the trip?
Well, first of all, you have Tadaiji Temple. It houses a giant bronze Buddha statue. It's really impressive.
From giant Buddha statue, that's something you don't see every day.
And then there's Nara Park, where you can wander among hundreds of friendly wild deer. They're used to people, and you can even buy special crackers to feed them.
Wild deer, that's pretty unique. All right, so Nara is an option for day four. Back to Osaka for day five.
Back to Osaka. Day 5, we're taking you to the Umeda district.
Umeda. What's the vibe there?
Umeda is modern and sophisticated, lots of skyscrapers, shopping malls, and it's a major business center. You'll see a very different side of Osaka compared to places like Dotonbori or Shinsekai.
So it's like the modern heart of the city.
Yeah, you could say that. Definitely check out the Umeda Sky Building. It has this amazing floating garden observatory with panoramic views of the city.
Sounds like a great photo opportunity. What about food in Umeda? Anything specific we should try?
Well, Umeda has a ton of restaurants, but I recommend checking out the dining floors of the department stores.
Department store dining.
Trust me on this one. These department stores have entire floors dedicated to food, and the variety is amazing. You can find everything from casual to super high-end.
I'll trust you. And speaking of getting around, how easy is it to travel between all these different areas in Osaka?
Public transport is a breeze. The subway is really efficient and easy to use, even if you don't speak Japanese. Trains and buses are great too.
So no need to worry about taxis or renting a car.
Exactly. Public transport is the way to go in Osaka. Super convenient and affordable, especially if you have that Osaka Amazing Pass we talked about earlier.
Right, the Osaka Amazing Pass. Okay, day 6 sounds like a lot of fun. Tell me about it.
Day 6 is all about okonomiyaki.
Okonomiyaki, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
What is it exactly?
It's often called the Japanese pancake, but that doesn't really do it justice. It's savory, it's got all sorts of ingredients, and it's cooked on a hot griddle right in front of you. It's a very Osaka thing.
And what are we doing with okonomiyaki on day 6?
We're taking an okonomiyaki cooking class.
Ooh, hands-on experience. I love it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You'll learn how to make it from scratch, and then, of course, get to eat your creation.
That's the best part. So for day 6, the food recommendation is basically eat your homework.
Pretty much. And after the class, why not explore a local neighborhood that's off the beaten path? It's a great way to experience a different side of the city.
I like that idea. Get away from the tourist crowds a bit. Any tips on how to communicate if we don't speak much Japanese?
Learning a few basic phrases can go a long way. Even simple things like, hello, thank you, excuse me. People really appreciate the effort.
Yeah, I can imagine. It shows respect for the culture.
Exactly. Okay, moving on to day 7. This one's a bit of a choose-your-own-adventure day.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more.
If you're a museum person, Osaka has some fantastic museums you can explore. Art, history, science. There's something for everyone.
And if museums aren't really our thing?
Well, then you have Universal Studios Japan.
Universal Studios. Now that sounds like fun.
It's a huge theme park with all the classic rides and attractions, plus some unique ones based on Japanese pop culture. It's a great option for families and anyone who loves theme parks.
Okay, so day 7, museums or Universal Studios?
Got it. What about day 8?
Day 8, we're heading to Osaka Bay.
Back to the water.
Yep. There's lots to see and do there. You can ride the Tempozon Ferris wheel, which gives you amazing views of the bay and the city. I love a good Ferris wheel.
Yeah, and there's the Osaka Aquarium Kaiyukan, which is one of the largest aquariums in the world.
Wow, that's impressive. What about food at Osaka Bay? What's the must-try dish there?
You got to try Osaka sushi.
Osaka sushi, is that different from regular sushi?
Yeah, it is. In Osaka, they have a particular style called bak sushi or oshi sushi.
Bak sushi? How is that different?
Instead of being hand-rolled, it's pressed into a wooden box, so it comes out in these neat little rectangular pieces. It's got a slightly different texture and flavor. Definitely worth trying.
Okay, box sushi is on the list. Any tips for navigating the Bay Area?
Just be mindful of peak travel times, especially if you're using public transport. The trains and subways can get crowded during rush hour.
Good point. I always forget about rush hour. All right, what about day 9?
Day 9 is a bit more relaxed. Consider it a rest day, a chance to recharge after all the exploring.
So no set itinerary for this one.
Nope, it's your day to do whatever you feel like. Maybe revisit a favorite spot, wander through a park, or simply relax at your hotel.
I like it. A bit of downtime is always good on a trip.
Absolutely, you don't want to burn yourself out.
Okay, day 10. We're getting close to the end of our 11-day adventure. What's on the agenda?
Day 10 is a good day to finish up any last-minute sightseeing, maybe do some souvenir shopping.
Souvenirs. Yeah, I need to get some gifts for people back home. Any recommendations for what to buy in Osaka?
Food-related souvenirs are always a good idea. Maybe some unique Japanese snacks, local teas, or spices.
Or maybe one of those plastic food models?
Yeah, those are fun. Just make sure you have room in your luggage.
Good point. I tend to overpack. And for food on this last full day, any final must-try recommendations?
Maybe revisit a dish that you absolutely loved during the trip, or try something completely new. Osaka's food scene is so diverse, there's always something more to discover.
Eat until you drop, right?
Exactly. Okay, day 11, it's time to say goodbye to Osaka. Sad, I know, but hopefully you'll be leaving with a full stomach and incredible memories.
I'm already feeling sad, and we haven't even gone yet. But before we wrap up, let's talk a bit about general advice for first-time travelers in Osaka. What are some local customs we should be aware of?
Well, first and foremost, bowing is very important in Japanese culture.
Bowing, like instead of shaking hands.
Yeah, it's a way of greeting, showing respect, thanking someone. You see people bowing everywhere. Don't worry, if you don't get it perfect, just a slight bow is enough to show you're trying.
Okay, bowing. Got it. What else?
Taking off your shoes before entering certain places is also important, like temples, traditional restaurants, some people's homes.
So always be prepared to take off our shoes.
Yeah, it's a good habit to get into.
Wow.
And in general, just be mindful of being polite and respectful. Japanese culture really values that. Things like not talking loudly on public transport, not littering, queuing up properly.
Basic good manners, essentially.
Right. Okay, let's talk about getting around Osaka. We've mentioned public transport a few times. Anything else we should know?
Yeah, any specific tips on navigating the system?
The subway is really well marked, and there are often announcements and signs in English, so it's pretty easy to figure out. But I highly recommend downloading a good public transport app.
There are apps for that.
Tons of them. They'll show you the routes, the times, the fares. They can be really helpful.
Good to know. Technology to the rescue, as always. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about saving money. You've already mentioned the Osaka Amazing Pass. Are there any other tips?
Yeah, eating at local places instead of fancy restaurants is a good way to save money and experience more authentic food.
Street food is your friend.
Absolutely. And check for lunch specials. They're usually much cheaper than dinner.
Good tip. Always on the hunt for a bargain.
If you're traveling all over Japan, a JR pass might be worth it. But if you're sticking mostly to Osaka, the Osaka Amazing Pass is the way to go.
So choose the right pass for your needs. Got it.
And don't forget about free stuff. Osaka has beautiful parks, temples with free entry. Take advantage of those.
Free is always good. This has been a fantastic deep dive. I'm already feeling excited about going to Osaka.
Me too. It's such a vibrant and delicious city.
11 days of eating until we drop.
Exactly. And remember, Osaka is a gateway to Japan. It's a great place to start your exploration of Japanese culture. So what are you waiting for? Start planning your trip and get ready for a culinary adventure you won't forget.
Well said. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll see you next time.